Councilman Miller lives in now on West Church Street. So if you don't mind, just a moment of silence. Thank you. And on behalf of the mayor, who is not with us tonight, he is enjoying a much-needed vacation, I'm sure. We do want to extend our sympathies and condolences to the congressman's family. And with that, if you will all rise, please, and join me in the pledge of allegiance. And remain standing, if you will. Councilman is going to give an invocation. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our Father, all wise and everlasting God, we thank you for another opportunity to come together as a council. We ask that you will continue to bless us in our endeavor to do what's right and to work to help this town grow, both economically, spiritually, and in love. We thank you for all that you have done. But this new year, Lord, give us a new vision, new hope, and give us new victory over the things that must be done. We ask these and all other blessings in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, we have on the agenda tonight for the approval of the special meeting of December 5, 2018.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any concerns? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. And tonight I have a great honor, the presentation of the Employee Service Awards. This is something that, as y'all well know, we used to do when we have our annual employee, how's this politically correct nowadays? It was Christmas party. And we would, hand out the new employees and the 5 and 10 and so forth, anniversary employee gifts. And now, the last 3 or 4 years, I guess, the mayor has had the opportunity to either do it in January or February. And again, as I said, he's out of town tonight. So I am excited about being able to do this. So I guess I'll get a list from you and step right over here.
When you call, we've checked off the names of the employees who are present. Not everyone who's earned an award is going to be with us tonight. But
Okay.
when you call, the award winner would come to the table and pose for a picture with with Mayor Pro Tem Biggs, so that we can record the moment. So here you go. Yes. Yes.
All right. Our first is the new employees list, and our first one is Jeffrey Johnson. He is not here tonight. Our second one is C.J. Jackson. Stay right up here if you will. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Our next new employee is Joseph Collins. He ain't old hold up. Thank you. Joseph and CJ are with the fire department. Then with the police department is Chief Henry King. Yes, sir, welcome.
Thank you.
Our next is Courtney Scrope. I messed it up when I.
Officer Court.
Officer Courtney. And I'm assuming she's not here tonight, and Officer Dominique is not here either, I'm assuming. Under Public Works, Chris Elliott. Just couldn't stay home, could you?
Good. I'm thrilled to death.
We're glad to have you.
I'm glad to be a part.
Next is Rakeem Jordan, Corey Sanders, Pacey Lasker. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. And Zachary Boyd. Zachary's not with us tonight. Our next list is the 5-year employees, and the first one is Councilman Edenton Bond. Five years, congratulations.
Thank you.
We got from the electric department, Melissa Oliver. Public Works, Michael Winslow.
Yeah.
Michael, thank you so much for
Thank you,
your
bud.
for your
Appreciate
time.
it.
Yes, sir. Okay. Moving right along, 10 years. Wow. A few. I know I saw you coming. Yeah, there you are. Come on up.
Why was that a wow?
It's 10 years. Thank you so much for your efforts and time in town. Thank you. Man, 10 years. Code enforcement, Janice Belch. The electric department, Blake Holmes. And one of my favorite, the police department, Stan White. Stan, come on up. Better known as Stan. Thank you for your service to the town.
Thank you.
All right.
And not because his brother was one of my bosses for 4 years, that's why he's my favorite. 15 years. Laura Wilkins with the police department. She's not with us tonight. But from Public Works, Joseph Holly. So now you get to tell time and write checks. Yeah, when we were talking about the truck roll, that's right. Okay, 20 years. Clarence Raymond. Clarence, after 20 years, you probably ought to know how to tell time. It seems like you probably get to work on time, so. Thank you so much for your service to the town. 25 years, police department, Rosa Bunch. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time. All right, one of y'all grab a camera, if you don't mind, because the next one is her. I don't know who's gonna grab it, but somebody grab the camera.
Go ahead.
And this one I'm going to read, because I don't believe y'all would probably believe this if I didn't. Town of Edenton seals up, of course, at the top, presented to Anne Marie Knighton for 30 years of service to the town of Edenton, February 12, 2009. Thank you so much. Well, you didn't get a pen, somebody threw it. I guess all these go back in here. I want one of these, you see? No, hang on. Again, that was certainly my honor tonight, and on behalf of all of us behind this desk. We often say it, sometimes we don't often show it by what we do for you, but we do appreciate everything that you do for the town on a daily basis. I do hope that this past year, when we went through budget, you did see somewhat of an increase from our salary study that this board was willing to take on in our budget. And hopefully this year we'll be able to increase that. No promises, but hopefully. But again, we do appreciate all that you do for this town. Because if you didn't do it, it wouldn't get done. Now, we can take just a break if y'all would like to leave. I know you got families to get home to, but you're welcome to stay. Thank you.
Before I leave, I would like to say the town of Edenton has been extremely good to me, and I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart for every one of y'all for what you have done for all of us. Thank y'all very much. May God continue to bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Gentlemen, you go home.
You about 13 when you said
Okay, we're going to move on into committee reports. And since I'm chairman of the administrative committee, I'll start along. It is recommended that the council approve the agreement for the social media marketing campaign as it's presented, as we heard at our committee meeting, which we thank you for being here tonight, but it was a great presentation. Thank you a lot. So I will put that in the form of a motion.
I'll second it, Mayor.
Okay. So I have a motion and a second. Any other concerns?
Just want to thank former Councilman Quinn for his help in finding Mr. Bream. Appreciate that.
I'm really excited about this. I think this is going to be great.
Yep.
Looking forward to working with you. Thank you.
Okay, so all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? That moves along. Number 2 is recommend council approve deadline of June 30, 2019 for the closing of the real estate transaction for the Conga building as it was presented.
I put in that form of motion.
Okay, have a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any other discussion?
I want to say,
Finally.
the people are dying for this to happen. I think that
The ones I've done.
yeah, I mean, I think the town of Edenton really wants this to happen, and I'm just excited that it looks like it might.
Just a question, as far as follow-up with the Board of Adjustment and Historic Preservation Commission, who will be on top of that, Anne Marie?
Elizabeth will be on top of that, and
We need a monitor.
we communicated
Yeah, sure,
with
absolutely.
Mr. Glover's attorney, the council's directive that staff be given the flexibility to conduct special meetings if necessary in order to meet the deadlines.
Maybe next week we'll have the hotel on there.
Very nice.
Yeah, we'll let you present that one. How about that?
I'd be happy to.
Okay, we've got a second, and, a motion and a second, and, I'll take a vote now. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Okay, and number 3 is recommend council approve the establishment of the Edenton Citizens Academy as it was presented at our committee meeting.
So move, Mayor. First time.
Second,
Second.
a motion and a second. Any discussion?
I think it's going to be really interesting. Learning the works of town government. I think we'll get a good crowd. It's going to be similar to the police.
Do we still do, speaking of that, do we still do the police academy?
We took a break.
Okay. All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign, thank you. Next on the agenda is the Utilities Committee, and it is chaired by Councilman Bottom.
Thank you, sir. We have 2 items on the agenda for tonight. And at our last meeting, we discussed these items fully. The first one is, it is recommended the council approve service agreement with Logix Incorporation to upgrade utilities billing software system as presented. I put that in the form of a motion.
I second it. Go ahead.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Second item, it is recommended that council approve submittals of the town's water supply plans as presented. We discussed this, Anne Marie discussed this for us at our last meeting. She did a thorough job on it, so I'm gonna put that in the form of a motion if no one has any objections.
Second.
Okay, got a motion and a second. Any other discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign.
That does it for me,
All right.
sir.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate it. And last on the agenda is Public Works Committee, chaired by Councilman Stevens.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It is recommended the council approve Adopt a Street program. It's a volunteer litter collection program as presented. And as Mr. Bond says, we talked about this at the last meeting, and I will put that in the form of a motion.
Second.
It's a great idea.
So we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Who will head that up? Be the
We'll,
coordinator.
I think we'll be working with Public Works to handle that. Corey, right?
I saw a smile on
I don't think that was a smile.
on another thing.
Okay, with no other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Thank
That's
you
all we
much.
have, Mayor.
All right, thank you, sir. Under new business, as you saw in your packet, we have a budget amendment for the airport fund purchase of fuel. Do you want to add anything else to it except we're moving $12,800 from one to the other? That's what we're doing. So I'll look for a budget to, a motion to approve that.
So move.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Okay, and then next, we have the, award of a bid demolition, and clearance of structure at, 204 Virginia Road. Y'all, have seen the numbers. I know Anne Marie had said that, there was some conflict with the time, the number of days, and you were going to talk with the contractor.
The low bidder, their estimated time to do the work was several days longer than the other contractors. I'm concerned that if we were to ask you to recommend to the next lowest bidder, the state may call our hand on that, because it's just a matter of, I think, 5 or 6 days longer for the low bidder to do the work as compared to the next low bidder. And the low bidder has done work for us. They successfully did the work on Valentine Street. So we feel comfortable with recommending the low bidder, Perquimans. They changed their names, yeah.
Yes,
Tile and drain for $6,200.
So, I'm guessing in the contract, we didn't have a time that they had to,
no.
from start to finish, okay?
These will be a couple days later.
I think
Does this cause
was,
the police department to spend more time directing traffic, or?
they may have to be out there a little bit more days, but again, if it weren't a state reimbursed project, I think we would feel comfortable recommending the next lowest bidder, but I don't want to jeopardize the town having to absorb that cost. The state is really looking at every penny and dime when it comes to this hazard mitigation project.
Are they gonna actually, excuse me, are they gonna actually move that house, or are they gonna destroy
They're
it?
going to take it down.
Take it down?
It was amazing to me, and I'm turning my head because mine will flip on me, that these bids went from $20,000 to $6,200.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Quite a range.
Okay, so what's the pleasure of the board? I'll take a motion on whatever your pleasure is.
The recommendation was to go with the lowest bidder, and I'll make that motion.
Okay?
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any other discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Okay, we have come to the item on the agenda, timely and important. Anyone have anything? Yes, sir, Mr. Miller.
Just want to congratulate the Public Works Department, specifically, I guess, Tosh Tao and his landscape crew for the great job they've done on pruning these trees in the right-of-ways, and they continue to do so, and it really looks good. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Council. Oh,
The council knows that I have mentioned another fire station. And I found that the property out on 37, on the corner, is for sale. It's 2 lots, 2 fields, I put it that way. And the smaller field this way is almost right there to the corner section of the stoplight. And I suggest that some of the council would check it out, like calling the farmer, about whoever wants to sell it, find out what the purchase price is on the lot, because one day, sooner or later, you're gonna need a fire station out there.
well, Councilman Poole, that's actually up to the county and the county commissioners. We spent a lot of time, I don't want to say we spent a lot of money, but we did spend some money traveling, and we have spent a lot of time in previous years trying to help them decide. And, you know, I've got a lot of friends who live out that way that would love to have another fire department out there. But that is something that the county itself
Okay.
is going to have to do. And as Anne Marie and I had this conversation once before when we were trying to help them out, you know, they're the ones that's got to, I don't know whether they've got to hire a consultant, I don't know what they've got to do, but they're the ones that's got to take the initiative to make it happen. And then if, you know, while they're making it happen, if they want us to be a part of it, so be it. But
I know.
it's not our responsibility to get a fire department put out there.
Okay.
Bottom line is, it's not over to us.
The county's the one that's got to run with that ball. And I understand your concerns. You and I have had that conversation, you know. And I've got a lot of friends that, I mean, would save them thousands of dollars a year if there was a fire department close by, but.
Okay.
Any other items? Yes, sir?
I just want to commend, I mean, last week, the governor's staff was in Edenton. A lot of the First Lady's staff was here, and they spent a day in Edenton, and I got to spend about 2 hours talking to them after their tours, and I think what they were so struck with is that we're leading the way, more so than any other community in the state, and really the only small town to highlight and showcase our African American history, and it just keeps on coming. There's so much of it. I mean, they you know, with our Kadish initiative, our Gale Street initiative, you know, we're able to put together tours with Harriet Jacobs and show how important all of this is to Edenton. And I mean, today, I guess it was today that I got an email from Preservation, North Carolina. They're doing a conference, and one of the people that they're showcasing is an enslaved man named Joe Welcome that was a master bricklayer that lived in Edenton and did St. Paul's and Hayes. And you know, they're giving these people that have been lost throughout our history a voice and a name. And I think it's just incredibly great work. And I think what we're doing as a town is really getting some national attention. And I think it's a fantastic thing. And Anne Marie's worked hard with it. Elizabeth's worked really hard with it. And if you see Bob Hopkins and his staff, they've really worked hard with it. And I was just really proud of Edenton last Thursday, I guess it was. So.
On an annual basis, it's just a question, on an annual basis, is it customary for the Edenton Joint Partnership to give us a summary of their activities?
They do.
Okay.
They do.
Okay. Will they be coming, Mallory? or you?
Yes, I'll get with Mallory and
Okay.
we'll schedule him to make a presentation. Yep. All of the boards that the council appropriates more than, I think, $1,000 makes an annual presentation to you.
I will tell you, real quick, when Harris Long was here making his presentation to us, he mentioned in that presentation about this group called Leadership North Carolina, which I applied for and got in. And it's traveling all over the state, which is a good thing. I'm really enjoying it. But last week our meeting was in Charlotte, and